Well, hey guys, I'm Jen Widerstrom and I am a transformational expert. I'm best known, I would say, from playing Wonder Woman in the recent Marvel film. No, that wasn't me. But I have been on your TV screens, most notably on Biggest Loser, and way long time ago as an American Gladiator. We should insert a little picture of Phoenix right now. But ultimately, I'm a coach. I'm someone that grew up with two parents as coaches. I grew up doing sports. I grew up being a team captain. I grew up seeing how movement and an idea of communities and teamwork really kind of affected me and the people I knew well outside the gym and the workouts. So I feel like life is kind of a contact sport. The more people you get in touch with and connect with, the more you understand what people are going through and how to help them. And that specifically is my favorite thing to do. You know, it's kind of been funny the way my life has been going because through Biggest Loser, a lot of doors have opened and I've gotten to do, Dr. Oz, I get to go on Ryan and Kelly and all these television shows and all these TV sets are fun and all, but I really miss coaching. And when the Oxygen Challenge came to me, the idea of getting to be a part of a team again, the idea of getting to be really involved in your lives and connected to really making changes for people, connecting to walking people through their greatness, I miss it. That's what I want. At the end of the day, I'm just Jenny from the Chicago suburbs that love people and like to see them win. And I think oftentimes it's easy, especially in this industry, to get caught up with the next thing, the next event, the next speaking engagement, the next show, and we miss the opportunity to work with the next person whose life we get to change. And that's, for me, what is so exciting about the Oxygen Challenge. Where we're at now is where we have so much social media, so much digital connection, but in a lot of ways, it's almost disconnecting us as people. The best thing about human connection are the humans involved. And with this challenge, I feel like one of the first scalable ways I've seen where I can really lean into a digital aspect, work through those microwaves over the internet, but actually create a personal human difference for people. And the other component that's really important as well is the time. This is not, 5 days, this is not 2 weeks, it's not even 1 month. It's 90 days of integrating all kinds of aspects of training, lifestyle, and movement in order for you to transition in a way that will be sustainable. I think that what I'll call my chocolate side, my sweet side, is probably one of the best kept secrets that I have. You get to see my coaching side, my tough side, my authoritative leadership kind of pace, but I think the really greater side of me and the prouder side of me is that sweet side, is that ability to slow down, to be emotional, and to get to share it. What's the point of having all of it if you don't get to share it with someone? And that's what I'm most excited about too. Whenever I've met any contestant on the shows or anybody I work with in training, I always say this to them, and I'm gonna say it to you right now. This is not a dictatorship, okay? This is a partnership. I will give you my all, but I do expect that investment in return. We are working together for the both of us. So I have a little story for you. It's kind of one of my foundational philosophies and the way I teach, and why this transformation for all of you will look very different. So when a baby is inside the womb, it's actually living with only half its heart. And it's because the baby is submersed in liquid, right? There's no oxygen transfer into the blood to go be pumping out to the body because you don't have air yet in that way. But in that moment of birth, that miracle, the other side of the heart turns on. And in a way, just like a baby is equipped and built with everything it needs to thrive, to be successful, and to transform into this environment, so are you. And I maintain that most of us are living with half our hearts. And what I'm hoping to do with this transformational challenge is allow you to transform and change and activate. Because just like that baby, you are living perhaps with half your heart, and it's my job to individually activate and turn you all on in your own way, in your own needs. It will look different for all of you, but that's what's so great about being a human. because there's only one of you, and you're the only one that can do you, and I'm gonna help you find it. I'm a quote freak, so you're gonna hear a lot of quotes, analogies, and probably weird stories that don't make sense at first, then do. So here's another one for you. A ship is safe in the harbor, but that's not what it's built for. And so a big part of my coaching philosophy with you is that the harbor is safe. You know, you are built for more, for discovery, for curiosity, for strength, for collaboration, but we gotta get you out of the harbor. We gotta get you out of that safe zone. We gotta get you out of that knowing space and get you to a place that you probably didn't think was possible, but once you start to really, extend your sail, so to speak, I'll be there helping you steer, but you'll be surprised how far you can go. Why am I a successful coach? I think it's a few things. First and foremost, I keep it fun. Like, working out is not punishment. There are multiple ways to get to the right answer. And I think that I've gotten good at taking the pressure and the expectation off of what it's gotta look like, what it's gotta be for you. And I also help you take the judgment and the self-criticism away of what your progress looks like. I think oftentimes we let the fear of how something's gonna go overshadow us even starting. And I create access to movement. I create access to success. I make it a fun conversation. And I also don't waste your time. Every single movement combination, the way I've planned every single workout you're gonna see has a purpose. There are no mistakes in what I've done. And it's because I know that in this relationship, I'm either gonna build your trust or I'm gonna lose it. I think you guys signing up was really betting on me, and I'm not gonna let you down because I really do care and I follow through on the outcomes, and you're gonna see that. I think there's been this mystique about what a trainer has to be and how they've gotta act and the confrontation that needs to happen in order to kind of help someone along. And it's funny, I'm asked often about how do you keep that balance? How do you stay tough but stay loving? And the answer is honesty. Anyone I work with deserves the truth. I'm doing nobody any favors by fluffing an answer or not being fully open or disclosing what they need to hear. I think at the end of the day, we just really want to be seen and heard. And sometimes when I see what's really going on with someone, just like when someone sees what's going on with me, you want to put a wall up, you want to fight it. Like, I don't want to face it or feel it or deal with it. But if someone has the courage to talk to you about something, it means they care and it means they love you. And ultimately, I think that's what makes it non-confrontational, because they know I'm being forward, tough, truthful, but it's done with love because I care, and that's why it works. Full disclosure here, when it comes to my challenge and being on Team Jen, we are not working out for the waistline. You will change your waistline. You will see physical changes and things that are aesthetically pleasing to you. And by the way, those are called carrots to me. They work. It's good. It helps you kind of look towards something and like, I'm going toward here. It helps you get you out of bed some days. It helps you skip the fast food and get a salad instead. So carrots work, but this is more than just the waistline. Because what my hope is not just for 90 days of a relationship with you, but a lifetime going forward. And I'm trying to empower you to let you know that here are the tools, here are the ways you can be successful, here is some amazing support that I'm always gonna be here giving to you, but it's also gonna take that commitment. Your body's gotta be able to trust you. Just the way like you are looking to me to be consistent with you and you wanna hear my commitment, which is gonna create your success and back, is the same way your body needs to know that you're gonna commit to it. So it responds to you. So just keep that in mind, and day by day, you'll find these moments, you'll have these little victories, these non-scale, like, I'm doing it, I'm feeling it, and I'm in my groove, and that's the stuff that matters. Like, that's the empowering feeling, knowing that you took your life back. So remember when I was telling you guys about honesty, and now I'm always gonna give it to you. That honesty will not ever transfer into you, into your life, into your way of thinking unless you begin to be honest with yourself as well. Your willingness to be self-aware, to embrace the bright moments alongside the dark ones is what's gonna be the critical turning point for your success. And ultimately, when I look at this challenge, that's one of the biggest kind of pillars I'd like to see you take away from this. Your ability to be honest with yourself embrace mistakes, celebrate joys and successes, know that you're not alone, and know that you're cultivating a culture in your life that will change you, and you will start to see the world in different colors. You will be in relationships in bigger ways, and you're gonna be one of your favorite people in your life, and you're gonna be a big part of being responsible for that reason. To put the old Jen brand on my training programs is one of pride. You know, I am constantly a student. I'm learning different ways to move. I go to yoga, I go to Pilates, I go to a kickboxing class, I go take an Olympic lifting class. I do it so I can find these movements, and I find creative ways to interject them into the programs I'm creating for you guys. It makes it fun, it keeps it interesting, and it keeps it very high value, because I think there's a lot of different ways to get to the same answer. And so when I look at people's bodies and change, and really keeping that fun factor, that brain training of, ooh, how do I learn this skill, and knowing where your body is in place, you're gonna start to see how there's so much crossover in movement that you're gonna feel almost foolish that you weren't doing more before. Like the things that I've learned in Pilates, I apply to my back squat, right? When I'm doing my max back squat. And you would think, Pilates back squat, how? They do work, they do come together. And that's, I think, what makes some of my programming so unique. Every 3 weeks it changes. That's just science. Your body gets used to a certain way of moving. Your body's resilient, it's smart, and it starts to basically callous to that stimulus. So at 3 weeks, I shift the program entirely. So what you're getting is within each 3 weeks, you are gonna get progressions and different modifications, but then the stimuli completely change at 3 weeks, and you get a totally new program. And then after 3 weeks, a totally new program. And each time, it's not just like the workouts change, but the way in which we're moving will change, and the way in which I coach you will also change with that program. So as a little teaser, my first 3 weeks are truly foundation volume training. From there, I move into like a sexy strength program, because the reality is you need to build the strength in order to earn the right to kind of move powerfully, which is what happens in the next 3 weeks. It's a whole power up sequence, and then we have a shred down sequence. So there's 4 key sequences that we're gonna move through, and then the final week, week 13, you'll just have to see for yourself. I also wanna point out that I truly did not make this about me. I had you guys in mind the whole way. I realized how busy life can be. Not everybody has access to a full, Globo gym. And so the workouts specifically are built in a way where, yes, there's body weight, but all the other movements that you do, you can do in the space of your home. Equipment is very minimal. I did that on purpose as well. If you have other equipment to use, I've given you access to that. But it's really designed though for you to kind of reach in that back pocket of workouts that you're gonna have and know that you can do them anytime, anywhere. So as I've kind of alluded to, there's a lot of modalities of movement that I'm incorporating throughout this program week over week. Because of that, there's a lot of fun techniques that I'm using, from different circuit training to supersets, which mean back-to-back exercises, to different kind of heat variables where it's like you're on really hardcore, you get to rest, and you're on really hardcore, you get to rest. And all of these have modifications that are built in. All of these have places for you to go to either take a step down or a step up from. And the really neat part is, even with all of those techniques, like I said, from the supersets to the bodybuilding movements to the plyometrics, they're all designed to specifically stimulate your body in ways that keep your muscle viable, which is a fancy word for keeping it strong. We don't want to burn too much muscle away. We want to keep it, own it, because muscle pays for the party, right? And so it helps you sustain the lean muscle mass. It helps your body shed the excess weight that you don't need. It helps you become an efficient mover. It helps you become very capable in your life. All of those techniques add up to a very well-rounded human being and a very well-rounded human body. Overall, what this program is promising is all these variations of movement systems like supersets or HIIT training or different kind of bodybuilding moves. And it's gonna create this optimal reaction from your body. Your metabolism goes up, your digestion gets better, your sleep gets better, you become happier, and all the while, your body optimizes as well. So it's also gonna keep it really fresh. I know it's easy to get kind of like tired of the gym? Well, get ready. You're not gonna get tired of this program. I mean, I hate to say it, guys, but nutrition is critical. When it comes to any kind of program, mine or anybody else's, if you don't put the right fuel in your body won't work and your body won't respond. Think about a car. Would you drive 3 hours without any gas in your tank? Right? You've got to really think about that. And once your body, I always keep saying it, once your body trusts you, it'll respond. Your body is smarter than you, and once it knows you're gonna feed it, you're gonna give it good fuel, it will respond, it will perform, not only in the workouts, but in the results that you wanna see. This is the one and only time I'm gonna say this. Enough talking. Time to sign up, time to sweat, time to eat, time to get together, time to be a team. Team Jen.